Oh my gosh. I wish you guys could hear what we were saying in between these transitions. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to episode 14 of The Breakfast of Champions. This is quite literally the breakfast show for you. Mr. KB, Aaron, how goes it? How you hanging?
Well, it's a wonderful cloudy morning here in good old PA. Nice. Doing all right, man. Doing all right. Woke up. I have my monster with me. What other breakfast of champions thing do I need?
Japanese green tea. That's what you need today.
I do. I would like to have some of that. That'd be nice.
Crack open a cold one with the boys today. By boys, I mean you.
There you go. Well.
Well, that hits good.
What was you say? Is that a good face or?
It's good. This is refreshing. I love the Japanese green tea, man. We got Japanese last night for Amber's birthday. Shout out to my beautiful wife Amber for celebrating her 21st birthday again for I don't know the seventh time. Yesterday,
there you go.
We had Japanese takeaway, and I had a good old adult soda left over that I had with my dinner, and I decided I would keep this for the show today. So.
There you go. That's nice, man. That's nice.
So what's going on?
Well, besides trying to convert everybody to Steam Deck, faithfuls, just hanging out. I finally feel about like 95% myself. So I've been getting caught up on yard work, all the other stuff that I couldn't do when I was sick.
Yeah.
Just doing that, playing some games, downloading some awesome deals on ye old Steam Deck.
Of course, I feel like we've just pretty much become the Steam Deck podcast at this point, man. Like last episode, this is the soonest we've done a podcast back to back as well. 5-day gap in between this episode and the last one, but the last one we really had a nice chin wag, as they say in Australia, about Steam Deck. It was a great chat, and of course, dun 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 dun. Here it is. There's my Steam Deck.
Look at that. It's nice. So what are your I want to ask, because I know we'll eventually, like, when you actually mess with it, we'll do like further stuff, but what are your first impressions? What do you like, without giving too much away, because I know you want to do some other stuff for the old algorithm, but what are your simple first impressions?
Let's just say I'm going to steal this from my wonderful friend, It's Meadows, because he messaged me before. He said the Kiwis, the New Zealand people, must have a problem with this one. And my first impression was, wow, that's a big dick. Because that's how they say deck over there in New Zealand. But it's a lot bigger than I thought, honestly. And it's not a bad size. Get your mind out of the gutter, everybody. It's not a bad size. It's very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I love it's very ergonomic. I love it so far. I've only had enough time to set it up, like do an unboxing video, and then start downloading some games and stuff like that. So it's really great. Love it so far. It's well worth the however many months I've waited for it now. 6 months. So there you go.
I've been telling you guys, it's been worth the wait. I mean, it's wonderful, and I should be able to get your skin shipped out here with possibly some other little goodies for you by the end of the week. Yeah, I was talking with Mrs. KB, and we have just a couple small things. We just have to get the packaging all figured out.
Wait, here we go. Well, please don't send too much. There's a lot of people who have spoiled me by sending my son things that I've been really very, very appreciative. So if, by all means, whatever, but please don't go overboard. Okay.
Oh, it'll be fine. You'll like it. It'll be fine. I'll try not to go too overboard.
That's fine. I wanted to. Okay, here's something completely random. I wanted to have a haircut today. I haven't had a proper haircut in, I think, well over a year. There was, because everything was locked down and whatever, so I just figured out, I'll spend $45 on a nice Philips razor hair trim or whatever, and I'll just DIY. And the hair cutting shop wasn't taking any more people, and I was just like, all right, fine, whatever. So I'll just do it myself. And I regret it, man. I feel like I don't know what I feel like I look like, but I don't look like myself today. So I've got a face for radio today. So if you're listening after the fact, good for you.
Well, see, that's what happens whenever you decide to retire the Flowbee, man, and switch it up.
A Flowbee?
You never heard of a Flowbee before?
Is that not like a Furby? Is it like?
It was clippers, right, for cutting your hair, but it had like a vacuum attachment, and then you would just
what the hell?
You don't, man. Maybe I am a boomer, huh? God,
Flowbee,
a Flowbee. Look at it.
How do you spell that? All right, you've piqued my interest now. Let's go ahead.
You want me to do a podcast this early? Now you want me to spell? God, jeez Louise.
Flowbee, haircut. Oh, okay. Wait. Flowbee, like FLOWBE. Okay, so I'm gonna.
That's it.
Okay, I've got a fantastic photo. This is ridiculous, and it's on the Wikipedia page too. I'm just gonna drop this right into the OBS scene, so it's just gonna look like garbage, but it's gonna be funny anyway. Okay, here we go. So here's the Flowbee. It's okay. Here we go. Where is it? Where'd it go? Did it? I love what. Okay, here it is. Man using Flowbee. Man underscore using underscore Flowbee underscore to underscore cut underscore his underscore hair dot JPEG. Oh, it's huge too.
Yeah, there it is, man. That's a Flowbee, buddy.
What the heck, dude?
That's what you need. It's what you need in your life. I bet they sell them at the Kmart down there.
Surely not.
See that Flowbee action.
What the hell, man? Oh, wow. Okay, well, there you go. Flowbee. I'll mark that on my list of things not to get.
Put that on your wish list so the viewers can send you one.
Hanasaki Ron in the chat says sounds better than the Veet cream and vacuum hair removal system I saw a video of the other day. How does one just use cream to remove hair?
So I saw this in a TikTok, right? The guy he was showing you how to get a mohawk. So he puts duct tape on the middle of his head. He takes the hair removal cream, rubs it in on his head, takes his shop vac, and he's shop vacing off all his hair. It was the funniest thing I think I've ever watched on TikTok. And he's like, "Here's how you get the perfect mohawk." And then he like pulls the tape off, and it was pretty crooked. But I mean, he made a mohawk.
Amber in the chat says, "Looks like the suck cut from Wayne's World." That's a weird way to say circumcision.
My God,
unhinged at its finest. So, man, I got some really cool news, but I can't share it with anybody today. Okay. I might know over the weekend, but things are changing. And
good. Hopefully,
we'll leave it at that
for the best.
Please.
Things are changing, huh?
Please. Yeah.
You finally coloring your hair now to keep up.
Hey, by the way, there's some really cool news that it's maybe not. Well, actually, no. We'll save it for our news. But we do have a voicemail to share. Sorry, I'm all over the place today. This is like an unhinged show. So those of you listening with kids, I don't know. It's fine. I won't swear. It's fine. We have a voicemail here. And I haven't listened to it yet, and I think you should be able to hear it in just a sec. We're flying by the seat of our pants today. This is like barely prepared. All right, here we go. Here's the voicemail.
Okay.
My name is Patty Davis. This is a notification call from our Department of Tax Debt and Financial Settlement Services. There are new programs that can help you reduce or eliminate your debt completely. It is possible.
That's garbage. Why? Who's spam calling my Skype account? Whatever.
Oh, Uncle Sam, that's who.
There's one from old Frog Fuchsias.
Okay, so I think I can take a shot in the dark here and beat you guys to the punchline. Who did it best, Nintendo or Sony?
Oh.
Tell me. And also, You're welcome for that wasp nest.
All right. So
Okay.
a little bit of a good discussion here. Reed in the chat says they sound trustworthy. Better give them your card number. As soon as we get off the phone, I'm sending them my social security number. All right. So good old Frog Fuchsia says Nintendo or Sony?
Who did it better? Man, that's tough because I like to play Minecraft on my Switch a whole lot, so I don't know. I see. Like here's where it gets into the whole, great hardware divide because, Nintendo likes to stick with the old tech, the stuff that's affordable for the consumer, the stuff that is like tried and true, it works. Sony's like, yeah, screw all that. You're going to pay $600 or bust. Like here's all the latest and greatest hardware and yada, yada, yada. I would say, and I'm sure we will most definitely get flamed for this, at least I will. I think Nintendo did it better. I mean, they've been surpassing all the sales. They're poised to sit at like top 5 console for the entire gaming scene. PlayStation, man, not so much. They can't get traction. So I would say, in my eyes, right now, Nintendo did it better than Sony.
What about the 90s, though?
Oh, Nintendo all the way. Nintendo did better than Sega. They did better than Atari, obviously. I mean, look what...
Early 2000s?
Yeah, the Wii. I mean, early 2000s. Well, so early 2000s, you were coming off the GameCube and rolling into the Wii. So I would say, yeah, the only one that they really lost their people on was the Wii U, and that's like to have such a span of profitability, and then you have one time where your console's not selling. That's not too bad. That's like Sony. Sony, man, they did good with the PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4. Now PS5, they can't make too much money off of it. So it's like, I feel like everybody has that happen to them. You have a little lull period there, but
yeah.
I mean, as of right now, I'd say Nintendo. Nintendo did it better, man.
Interesting. I definitely this gen Nintendo done better. I think overall Nintendo's probably had a better streak. But Sony really crushed it in the early 2000s with the DVD player inclusion in the PlayStation 2. Because if I remember correctly, I think the PS2 was cheaper than DVD players back in the day. So that contributed to the large number of sales that the PS2 ended up having. But funnily enough, I love my N64 and stuff like that as a kid, but I feel like I played my PlayStation 1 more.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I just feel like I just have more memories playing my PS1. I don't know, because there was a certain point where I stopped playing N64 because I traded it in. But I've always had a PlayStation 1. Like I had the PS1 with the screen and stuff like that. But overall, I'd say Nintendo has done a better job. But Sony has done really great with everything, pretty much up until the PS5. And I don't know if it's because of there's software issues and manufacturing issues and all the chips and blah 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 blah. But Marky Mark in the chat says I think PS5 will end in a floppy. I kind of see that heading in that direction anyway.
And to touch on that a little bit, I had a conversation with Pitt the other day, and he was saying, he's like, think about this for Sony though. Valve just makes Steam Decks, right? That's all they do. Microsoft just makes Xboxes. They don't make PCs or anything else. Sony makes everything under the sun. TVs, cameras, all that stuff. So he goes, think about on a larger scale, the components that they're using that they might carry over into the PS5, where manufacturing might be a little slow because they have to wait for all those batches to become available. So maybe that's where Sony's, flaw is in the manufacturing process. Maybe that's why they can't get too many units out, because they don't have enough components in house to crank them out.
I didn't really think I haven't really considered that. I mean, like I'm shooting on a Sony camera right now. I've got a Sony Bluetooth speaker. I've got a Sony record player, vinyl player. And of course, there's Sony televisions and branded other things. Of course, the Walkman is a very popular one. But I've never once really thought okay, Sony has the PlayStation, and then they have all these other tech things.
Yeah.
So, wow, yeah. I mean, of course, the PlayStation is its own thing, and it's obviously the parent company is Sony. So, yeah, I never gave that any other thought, man. That's interesting.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't either. And when he said that to me, I'm like, oh my god, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Because like I said, Nintendo just makes a Switch. Microsoft just makes the Xbox. Valve is just making a Steam Deck. So it's like, I feel like Sony in this generation, they're the thing that's shooting them in the foot is the fact they have PCs and TVs and just a vast array of things. Absolutely.
I love my Walkman so much. I love my Discman as a kid. I remember I had a white and orange one, which was awesome. And I remember getting, there was like a Led Zeppelin early days, later days or something like that, like a greatest hits one. That was awesome, man. I love that. It was a great Christmas that year. So great question. Thank you so much, Frog Fuchsias, for sending that
Absolutely.
And I think that's pretty much it for the introductory section. We've got a lot of great news and stuff that we want to chat about in the news bite. So let's head on over to our news bite transition, and you can start it off with the leaked audio.
So, I don't know if all you people heard this, but there's some news out of Hollywood, and this pertains to a specific Nintendo movie. So we have the sound clip. This is Chris Pratt's Mario for all of you out there. So keep this one a little under wraps. We don't want it getting out too much.
This is exclusive. This is a Breakfast of Champions exclusive. Chris Pratt's Mario voice has been leaked. Let's give it a listen right now.
Hey, where's the freaking gabagoo? You motherfucker. You motherfucker, huh? Make me get the... Hey, I'm walking here.
Honestly, that's one of the best... It's a really unique interpretation of Mario.
He goes, "Hey, yo, Bowser, I'm walking here.
Hey, yo, Gabagoo." The sensor didn't really work the way I thought it was going to work.
It's fine. It added to the chaos of what that was. It'll be fine. Just
Unhinged.
Just if you have kids, sorry. We'll next show we'll do better.
But man, that clip has been going crazy on Twitter, and I have laughed so hard. Honestly, like I even tried to get my son to say "gabagoo," and I have a clip of him kind of saying it, and I'm gonna I'm gonna play it here. Might take me a second to actually get it going. Can you say, "Hey yo, hey yo, where's my gabagool"? Just walking. Can you say, "Give me some gabagool"? I even had him saying, "Hey yo, gabagool."
Hey yo, hey yo.
And
hey yo, let's go.
There's been some other ones where, like, I posted one. I think it was in your Discord. Now that you have a Discord, it was very much non-family friendly. By God, it was hilarious.
That's wonderful, man. That's wonderful.
Oh boy. Anyway, there you go. So as far as some actual news things, we had a look at the headlines and stuff over the last couple of days. There's an interesting one, Mr. KB. What's the one about the Pokemon?
So Nintendo sent out a survey, and they're asking fans what Pokemon games and spin-offs they want. It looks like they're trying to branch out here, and one of the things the article goes over is they mention, existing spin-offs like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and, like, do you want traditional entries? Do you want, remakes and remasters? It's really interesting to see them go through this and be like, hey, what do you want? What do you want? What do the fans want? I think it's a good move on their part because I feel like that's how you can, capture the sales of your entire fan base, not just ones that are sticking around for like, oh, maybe they'll give me a remake from my childhood, or maybe we'll get a new game, or maybe we'll get a new spinoff. This is a good way to lump it all in and really see where everybody's head's at with the Pokemon series overall.
I'm at a point where I'm burned out on Pokemon. I reluctantly picked up Arceus. I didn't mind it, but I felt like it was a chore to really get through it. I have zero interest in Violet and Scarlet. I mean, there's just nothing that they can do right now to bring me back into that series. Maybe other than adding a little bit of go. It's never not going to be funny. I mean, come on. So Pokemon Go didn't really gravitate towards the hype. Plus, we talked about it with Pikmin. Whatever. I don't like going outside. Outside's overrated. A new type of Pokemon adventure set in an open world that offers more freedom to choose what to do and where to go next. I don't know. A new entry in an existing spin-off series, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I've never played those. Pokemon Snap. The new Pokemon Snap was okay, but that was unnecessarily grindy. Having to replay levels over and over and over again. The original was really great, and I feel like they kind of lost the magic with the new one. A new adventure similar to traditional Pokemon games with a set path through the world and a linear story. Pokemon Sword and Shield, Pokemon Red and Blue. That is a vast difference between those two games. Let me tell you straight away.
Yep.
Remake a remaster of traditional Pokemon. They're done. Literally, the next game for them to remake would be like Black and White.
Yeah, unless they went back and did Silver and Gold or Ruby and Sapphire.
I would be all over Silver and Gold or
dude, could you imagine
Let's
a remake
Go
of Crystal?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are we just did we just become best friends?
Yup.
Yeah. So there you go. Pokemon Crystal is a fantastic game. I love that one. And if they did like the Pikachu Let's Go whatever remake style to that, sure, that'd be fine. I wouldn't mind that.
The problem they have is there's no Pokemon's fun from like start to about the 4th gym. Then after that, it becomes like, all right, I guess I'm gonna grind and hit one button the entire time.
Sure, yeah.
I think if Pokemon could switch it up and maybe overhaul or possibly adopt what all the other like Pokemon spin-offs are doing. Like Temtem's wonderful. It's Pokemon with a strategy. It's not like how Thunderbolt might have 40 uses and then Thundershock has another 30 uses. This is like, all right, this move's going to take out this much stamina from your Pokemon or your little Temtem. You know what I mean? It's like you have to really think about how you're going to use your moves and think about what you're going to do. So like that would be cool. They would have to give you a little more to the battling aspect. I feel bring a lot of the older fans back. I play them purely for nostalgia, and with this new one coming out to be able to hopefully play with friends kind of seamlessly, it looks like I'm a little skeptical how that's going to work. But if it is going to be nice, that's something I'm looking forward to do. But
let's see, Mark, where is the survey? So this is something that Nintendo is sending out to people sign up to the My Nintendo promotions and newsletters. So I don't know if it's kind of a random selection, but yeah, I think it's very fair to be critical of the Pokemon series. I mean, it's close to 30 years old now, which is just ridiculous. But I feel I just don't know what it's going to take for them to bring me back, to be honest with you. I think the Silver and Gold would be really cool. Let's see, B Reed in the chat said upset that I lost my Heart Gold cartridge, way too expensive. Yeah, that's expensive for a DS game, so those games are kind of off limits now. The the ticket to get in with the price you have to pay for the games and stuff like that. So that's probably my ultimate choice, like Heart Gold or Soul Silver coming back. That's what I would say. Speaking of games, of course, we like to talk about games. Here's an interesting one. Netflix. So Netflix does games. Do you know anything about Netflix games?
Very little. I feel like they're trying to do what Stadia did, and I believe Amazon still has their like gaming service thing. So I feel like that's what they're trying to capitalize on. They're like, we see how Game Pass works, we saw how Stadia worked. Let's see if we can make our own little thing here.
Apparently only like 1% of people who are subscribed to Netflix actually play the games on Netflix. And I have no idea what they are. I literally don't know anything about it. I know nothing. So for them to be getting into the game with their own dev studio, okay, cool. But they need to make people more aware that, hey, this is a platform. This is something that you can do if you're subscribed to Netflix, but I don't see a draw card at all to Netflix games. Like, how do you even play them? Do you just where? So if I sign into Netflix right now on my phone, how do I get to the games? I don't even know.
Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of the right now, I think you can only do it. It might be on Android in certain regions. Right now, I don't know if it's fully out there or if they're just building it in beta testing.
Netflix games.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to look here.
So available games, they have not many. Stranger Things 1984 is there, so that's probably the only killer app. So unlimited access to more than 25 exclusive mobile games included with your Netflix membership. Download on Android tablets and phones and iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Okay, so what it probably means is you can look on the App Store and you get these games inclusive of your Netflix thing. So it's not like you're going to your Netflix app and then you're playing games natively within the app. So you get them as, okay. So that makes a little bit more sense. But I think it's really funny because you guys, I'm sure you remember, people in the chat remember, people listening, there used to be a Netflix type service where, of course, Netflix used to, you would mail, they would have DVDs mailed to you. There was a service like Brightest Day, and the chat says it wasn't that just GameFly. GameFly was a service where you could rent games. Yep. So it's kind of ironic that they're doing that way, but it makes sense. But I don't know.
It does. I mean, everybody's finally learning that people play games, and it's just not for the 2% that live in their mom's basement. You know what I mean? It's actually a growing field. And what's interesting to me is, sorry, the article goes into telling you, in April, Netflix announced a loss of 200,000 subs. That's its first quarterly loss since 2011. So it's kind of funny for them to be like, yeah, you know what? We lost some people. It's fine. We made a loss. It's fine. We're just going to throw games at you. Maybe instead of putting all that money into the game studios and all this, just maybe make your service for movies and TV shows a little bit better. Maybe don't cancel shows after a first season because the fans are upset over it. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm still sour over them canning Cowboy Bebop because you and me both, man. Because all the anime losers were upset. Oh no, they ruined it. Come on, it was fine. It was honestly fine. If you're subjective objective, it was actually a really good interpretation of that show. But I totally agree. So if you go to your Netflix app, you can see games, right? So I can scroll. So let's just say I want to go install SpongeBob. Let's tap on SpongeBob, and then I have the option to get game. Let's get game. Go to App Store, unlimited exclusive access. So now I have the option to get, and then it probably pairs with your Netflix thing. So cool, but I just feel like because I only watch Netflix on my TV, I'm not going to be scrolling on my phone to see the game. Like, again, only 1% of Netflix subscribers are using this thing. So, yeah.
And it's funny that it's mobile games because so when like the smartphone thing was brand new, I played my fair share of mobile games. But that kind of fizzled out because the more as time went on, the more people are like, oh, well, we're going to throw ads in there because we need paid unless you want to pay for the ad free version. And it's like everybody was doing ad free. And it's like you're in-game purchases, or they sucker you in like Candy Crush and they go, well, for $5, here's more lives or something. And it's like, I don't need that. I just need to buy my games and play them not on my phone.
Oh man, I tell you, there's a game that my son loves to play, and we'll round out the news bite with this. There's a game that he loves to play. It's called, I don't know if it's I don't know if I have it on my phone here, but it's like Pet Doctor or something like that. It's like you can pretend to be a vet and clean up pets that are injured or whatever, and you get like a 10-minute free trial, and then you have to pay $81 for the app. It's an annual fee. So I suppose if there were kids games and my son liked them and he can play them on the iPad and that'd be tethered into my Netflix account, for sure. Yes, I'm telling you, you think like Candy Crush and Fortnite or whatever are bad for microtransactions? Kids games are disgusting for that. I mean,
I bet.
I've bought all like the Lego Duplo packs because my son loves Duplo, so it's like little scenarios with the characters and stuff like that. So I'll pay like $5 for a little pack, and he'll sit there for a half an hour and play. Cool. But some of these games, I'm telling you, like $81 for an annual subscription just to be a vet or a pet doctor, it's disgusting.
Yeah, that's not right, man.
Disgusting.
But, someone's going to pay it, or some kid's going to hit, I want to keep playing. So they do it. And then their parents are like, why am I getting a bill from Apple for $80?
If I got hammered with an $81 bill from Apple, I would be so mad. And that would financially cripple me.
I'll never financially recover from this.
So speaking of financial devastation, let's jump right on over to our topic of the week. Topic of the week this week is what games or tech are or is comfort food. So how would you describe this topic, Mr. KB?
Well, I mean, let's say it's, let me give you a couple scenarios, right? Let's say it's, you wake up, it's a rainy day, you're just not feeling a lot of things. So it's cold out. You just wanna get under your blanket, curl up on the old couch, and play something that makes you feel good because everything else outside is a little crummy. Or you caught the plague of 2020 and you just wanna feel good, and you wanna go back to days where you weren't hacking up a lung. It's just like when you're sick or you're not feeling the best, let's say mentally, or just you just want the feel good. So what do? Some people put on some music, some people put on some movies. For myself, I'll watch a movie or I'll play something. And I got to tell you, man, games are good for the soul. And it's exactly what we're going to get into. So
we'll get it. What games would you give me? Like two examples of comfort food games, a title that you find that you're coming back to again and again and again, even if you've played it 1,000 times.
So for me, it would be Super Mario World.
Really?
That is my go-to. And I'm like, man, I just need to get hit with like that little bit of, that, because Super Mario World can give you a rush as you because you played it.
It sure is.
So it's like, imagine being, down in the dumps, and you're like, man, I'm not having a great day, and you just play a couple worlds in Mario, you're like, oh my god, all right, one more, we're gonna speed run it. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna see how quick we can go, or how quick we can get through the level without touching anybody. Like, it's there, that to me gives me the feel goods, and that one is always my tried and true. As for a second one, man, I'm all over the place. Like, I could jump on, I could fire up the old emulation machine and play, Pokemon Red, or I could just pick up the cart and play that. Because the other thing is, what tech is comfort food, and I mean, for a lot of people, Game Boy. I know for myself, I if I really need to do something that takes me back, I just grab my Game Boy Color, put on some maybe some Kirby Pinball, or one of the many Game & Watch carts. That gives me the same effect. That, like, all right, you know what, things are good. Things aren't as bad as they seem.
I totally agree. There's when in my case, when you're out of Cowboy Killers and adult soda, what's the next best thing? Well, it's for me. It's gonna be vinyl records, man. I love. I've loved collecting vinyl. I've since Amber bought me a record player back in 2020. I've slowly been chipping away at things that I like. Of course, I got into my Japanese jazz fusion, so I bought a ton of those, and I love putting those on. But I never really have a chance to enjoy them because anytime my son's awake, it's just like sensory overload with kids' toys and things, and Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig's the new fascination. I'm Peppa Pig. That's all I'm hearing. Which is fine. Like, Peppa Pig's actually cute. I like Peppa Pig. But if I ever have the chance to sit there and listen to a record, it's going to be one of my jazz fusion ones. I love them. Like, they're records that I'll sit there and listen to in their entirety. And I love vinyl as well. Of course, having made vinyl, I have a new appreciation for them. But games, man, Super Nintendo is really where it's at for comfort food for me. I didn't grow up with Super Nintendo, and 64 was what I grew up with. But the Super Nintendo really gives me the warm and fuzzies, which is why I was so dead set keen on importing my US Super Nintendo and getting all the expensive games and all that stuff. I mean, yes, of course, we've mentioned 1,000 times now. It's essentially the Steam Deck podcast. We can play them on the Steam Deck.
Yep.
But it's not the same. That's why, I'll go out of my way to get the Sony Trinitron. I'll go out of my way to play the games right where they belong. And honestly, like, the best way I can describe how I feel when I play a game like Earthbound or Chrono Trigger or just my Super Nintendo in general is when it's really cold out, you go inside, you have a shower, and then you get into some nice flannel sheets. And you're just like, ooh, that's nice. That's how I would describe Super Nintendo for me.
And, it's wonderful that you have in you is like the overall you. You get a chance to have something to put you in a good mood. Like, I know for me, man, my best comfort food is a nice bowl of homemade chili.
Ooh.
And some homemade grilled cheese for dipping, man.
Nice.
That right. If you're having a bad day, for me, you make a little bit of that, and oh baby, look out, because my day's turning around. It's
I love that.
Like, or it's I don't know. It's wonderful that you have things to do that for you, because it really takes you back to simpler times. That's kind of why I like buying all the new Pokemon games. I might not play them for too long, but just the anticipation leading up to it just takes you back to being a kid. Like, oh my God, the new Pokemon's coming out. I can't wait to see what they have in it and blah, blah, blah. Then I played and I'm like, this is garbage. Get this out of here.
I know the feeling.
But I like it. I mean, I know another one for me, the Grand Theft Auto games, that right there gives you a wonderful nostalgia hit, because you run around and cause chaos. You don't even have to play. You're just like, yeah, give me more.
I know. 5 stars. The chat here. Let's see what the chat is saying. So, Planet Coaster by John, our favorite content creator from Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Love that one. Planet Coaster. That's a good one. Splatoon. Mr. and Mrs. Nerdwire loves Splatoon. I've been playing a lot of Splatoon lately. I think Splatoon has become like my modern comfort food game. I'll jump. I probably won't jump on tonight because it's just shy of 11 p.m. right now.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just go straight to bed. Animal Crossing, Super Mario Brothers 3 says Nerdwire as well. Marky Mark says Mario RPG. Mario RPG is a new warm and fuzzy game for me, having just recently played that. B Reed in the chat says, I have all my dad and his brother's old vinyls from their youth, some from the 60s. Nice. I have some as well. I've got a good vinyl collection that my father had. Hanasaki Run. Tales of Vesperia is my ultimate comfort game. Great memories of being sick and my dad bringing the TV and 360 upstairs so I could play in bed.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of great games, and it's and of course Mrs. Nordbar loves trash reality TV. So nothing. When you're having a bad day, just put on a little bit of Jersey Shore. Just know that it could always be worse.
Exactly.
GTL, babe. Gym Tan Laundry. Let's go.
What? Now let me ask you this: what genre would you consider comfort food?
Oh, good question. I honestly have to say JRPG without hesitation. Just being able to throw yourself in a different world, even just for a little bit of time, I think is really important. And games are really good for disassociation or just teleportation to different places, different scenarios, different characters, blah, blah, blah. And if the game is really good and the story is really good, you can really be engrossed in that world, in that story, in those characters, in the music. And for me, platformers can be stressful. Splatoon, I love Splatoon, but it can be stressful as well if you're playing online. JRPGs, you can kind of go at your own pace. Sometimes you might have difficult battles and stuff like that. But I just that whole putting yourself in a different world. There's no other series of games that do that for me.
I'd have to agree with you there, man. I mean, I know for me, a good genre that's like, if we were to do, what genre is your comfort food? I'd say the sim games. And I mean, like, The Sims, Harvest Moon, like all of those, because you can kind of get lost in that little. You can get lost in that world that they've created.
For sure. I think that's why Animal Crossing was really a very important game in 2020. Unintentionally, it came out at the best time ever.
Because it really did.
Was early March or something like that. So I remember grabbing it just before my birthday, and my son was newborn, and it was a really great game for picking up and playing because I didn't have a whole lot of time to play games after he was born. But if I was child free in lockdown 2020, my island would have been so
would have been stacked, huh?
Stacked off the wall.
There you go.
Sim games. That's a good one. I like that.
It is, because you can, you play them and then you're like, all right, I'm only going to put like 40 minutes, maybe an hour. And then, 5 hours later, you're like, oh.
Got any of them bells?
Yeah. Hey, yo, you got some bells?
You got some gabagool?
Oh, man. And that it's nice to think about, what's good comfort food. I mean, let's branch out. What about movies? What movies would you say are your go-to when you're feeling blue?
I'm not really a movie person, to be honest with you. Like, I feel we just really don't even have time to watch a movie, and we do, but we just do other things. Like Amber always works in the evening. Like, she's listening to this while working on her MacBook right now. I'm usually working or playing a game. If I was to pick a comfort food movie, though, I'm going to give you two options. One is my favorite movie of all time, which is Lost in Translation, which I love.
Okay.
And the second one, I'd probably have to say Uncle Buck.
Yeah, dude. Oh, yeah. Any John Candy movie,
Giant
man.
pancake. Oh my god.
Uncle Buck's good. Great Outdoors. That's another good one. It's hard to watch his movies and be upset. You know,
for sure.
Or be in a different mindset. I usually go for Coming to America. That's usually one of my go-tos. The Back to the Future series. Those are always good. You know. Marty, they found me. It's the Libyans.
Hilarious.
You know, but yeah, that's I usually like the like sci-fi fantasy or just any of the old 80s, 90s comedy because oh my god, those movies are unhinged. Especially Mel Brooks, man.
Ah man, all that stuff peaked in the early 90s and it's never gotten better since. And that's why people go back.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't see any of us maybe in 20 years' time, you know, really just jonesing to watch The Kissing Booth on Netflix again. Like, there's no way that, like, that's an instant classic. I mean, we watched it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But I'm not like 20 years later. Oh, do you remember that Kissing Booth movie? We look back. I don't know. Maybe it's a generational thing. I'm sure it is. But I just really feel like they just got the formula right at that time. And it's never been better.
No, I definitely agree with you there. So I told you my comfort food. What is your comfort food?
My comfort food, if I could have it, and I'm sure Amber's going to listen to this and be like, oh, hell yeah. My comfort food is General Tso's with special fried rice. And I got to ask for the General Tso's to be not spicy because I'm too white.
Oh.
I can't handle the spice. There was a particular place that we went to back in our hometown. And I said this on stream the other day, but I said basically I was sure we were putting those kids through college, how often we went there. For sure. Honestly. Like,
that's awesome.
We would have no money. And all of a sudden I would find $20. I would somehow just come up with $20 and I'd be like, we're going. We go down to get General Tso's and then we go put on HGTV and watch Fixer Upper with Chip and Joanna Gaines with their shiplap and all that stuff. I love the Reno shows. So I suppose trash reality shows. I love Reno shows. Property Brothers. I could just sit there and binge those shows, man. I just like, That's
awesome.
It's great.
That's awesome. Man, you know what's good to do with your General Tso. You get because obviously those places put the rice separate, and I don't know about you, but I like to take my rice when I'm done with it, dump it in the bowl to get those wonderful, General Tso sauce, all the juices, all that.
Ooh.
Ask him for the sauce on this. Like, just say, can I get an extra cup of sauce on the side?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
So when we get ours, it's just in one takeaway container. So it's got the chicken, the rice, and it's got one piece of snappy broccoli. So it's just you bite into it, and it's like, you know what I mean?
See, out here, man, they'll put the chicken and veggies in one little box, and the next box you get a boatload of rice just for yourself, and you're like, geez, how am I going to do this?
I know, right? How am I going to put this one down?
Yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, it's the wonderful little thing. Cause they're like, yeah, for like $1, $2, here's a full soup cup of General Tso sauce. So it's like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, you gotta, I don't know if you could do it down there, but if you ever make it back around here.
General Tso's don't exist down here, but I tell you what, if I got a cup of sauce, I'd be praying for plumbing the next day. House Hunters as well. Yeah, I know the trash TV because I've been on trash TV. Now I want to talk about that, not now, but at some stage here we'll feature a House Hunters episode about the time that Amber and I were on House Hunters International. Oh boy, that's not comfort food, I'll tell you that.
See, I don't know. Maybe because like my grandma used to watch all those shows. I'd be like, can we not watch, home fixer uppers? You're not fixer upping in your house. Why do I gotta watch it? I do have to say, as much as I hate like that kind of stuff, man, the Food Network. That's good. Put it on and just let it run. I
I saw a really funny reel, and I'm gonna totally butcher it, but there's a lot of like icons from the Food Network. There's one of them is, I think my grandmother used to watch, was the Barefoot Contessa.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if you know, but basically it was like, hi, I'm making this weird thing that reminds me of this blah blah blah, and it's like, this is my family's Italian recipe. Back when they migrated in the early 1800s, they brought this fig leaf and they planted it in the garden, and now, as 5 generations now, we put this in our soup, and it's yum. That's like, I don't identify with any of this, but sure, yeah, I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things, man. You'd go over to my grandma's house, and it's either HGTV, the Food Network, or if you catch her at the right time of day, it would be like Price is Right. All the wonderful old people shows. But yeah, man, it's like I said earlier, it's funny how those things, whether it be games, tech, shows, food, whatever, gives you the old warm and fuzzies.
John in the chat says, I'd be utter garbage as a food TV celeb. And he says, and here I am adding hot water to a pot noodle.
I mean, I can't. Maybe it's something he needs to start.
I love the cooking shows. There's what's it, Mystery Diners? Have you ever seen Mystery Diners?
I have not. No.
That show is it's so fake and so staged. So basically, this is trash TV, and I this would go under comfort food, because Amber and I, before we really developed an interest in like anything of culture, we would sit there and watch. We would sit there and watch like Mystery Diners. And it was basically like Undercover Boss, but for restaurants, and they'd be having issues. And I'm sure it was all staged with actors. Like they would have a problem employee that was stealing money or giving free things away to people and blah blah blah. And they would bust them with their security cameras installed above the oven range. Like, hi, I'm such and such from Mystery Diners and whatever. Trash TV, man.
I'll tell you what was fun. That was always good to watch. Whenever let's say you had a bad day at work, put on some Gordon Ramsay, because he'll pretty much
this soup is too dry.
As long as you don't have somebody like him screaming at you, he can definitely brighten your day. It's like, oh God, yeah, Bar Rescue. That's a wonderful one. I think, what was it, Restaurant Rescue? But see, John, you could be the next Gordon Ramsay. You just shout at people. Just act like you know what you're talking about.
Pigeon roll.
That's it. The bird is too dry. I'll dare.
There's I loved that stuff. I have to really say I loved cooking shows, and I felt like there was a part of me that felt that I could be on Food Network or HGTV. I was on HGTV, and
I got to see it. It was beautiful.
It was
beautiful.
I just don't know.
I don't know. Dude,
I got flashbacks.
I gotta say, man, from your thing, the just I guess a spoiler for those who haven't seen it, the real estate guy, when you were clapping for sound, that's why I'm like,
yeah, I know.
I get it. I know why you had to, but he was just like, they'd cut to him, and I'm like, how do you not understand what the man's doing? Like,
and now look as uninterested as possible. 3, 2, 1. Pretty much. That's pretty much.
Yeah, and then Errol, he's like, okay.
So
it's
there
like,
you go.
It was an interesting episode, man. And
yeah, trash. I mean, we paid for. We'll save it for another episode. I'm gonna say anything.
We'll save it for another episode, of course.
Maybe we'll do it as like a Patreon special. You have to.
Ah, man,
highest tier to get that one.
Highest tier, $20. You two can
$81 annual subscription to get Pet Doctor and the House Hunters review.
You know, I had to get this though. I had to pay $1.30 to watch your House Hunters episode.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh, it was totally worth it. It was 100% worth it. What are you talking about? That was the best $1.30 I could spend.
Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll save that. We'll save that for a proper episode. And any of those who You can't watch it on YouTube anymore because we were taking it. I need to stop there because I'm gonna let it rip. And Amber cringes anytime I mention it on stream. So
no, so right now she's over there in her office going. Ugh.
She's like, stop it. No, actually, no. She's like, hey yo, give me the gabagoo.
Oh man, but that's honestly that's all I have for comfort food. I mean, it's
retro games and General Tso's for me, man. That's what it is.
Oh, dude, that sounds like a Saturday night for me.
Although I suppose that my Australian comfort food, actually, there's a 7-Eleven that's not far away, and every now and again, Amber will give me the look, and it's the specific look that when I look at her, I just know that she just wants me to go to 7-Eleven and just buy a bunch of crap,
like
chocolate
the hot
milk
dogs on the roller,
chocolate milk, meat pies, Cheetos puffs, Kit Kats, just. She's triggered. She's in the chat saying she's triggered. She wants me to go walk. She wants me to put real pants on. I got my hoppity PJs on right now. I don't care. Yeah. Anyway, 7-Eleven gas station food here is probably comfort food for me. Total trash food, but yeah.
7-Eleven food, man. That's oof. But like your 7-Eleven's going to be way different than mine.
Well, yeah, I suppose so. I do love the ready-made meat pies they have here. They're premium A5 premium.
See, I don't think we have meat pies here. I think
you don't.
Yeah, we have the hot dogs on the roller that have been there since 1999.
Hey, that reminds me. Speaking of crazy foods in the U.S., our wonderful Discord mod Melark mentioned in our Discord the other day about pumpkin spice flavored Oscar Mayer bologna.
Now we're talking.
I mean, and my initial reaction was sounds like a trip to the toilet. I mean, my tummy's just churning.
Like I'm not a big pumpkin fan. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I hate pumpkin. So that to me just sounds like yikes. Yeah, how can you get me to revisit my 7-Eleven hot dog? Throw in some pumpkin flavored lunch meat.
Wash it down with Crystal Pepsi from 1990.
Yeah, man.
Wash your mouth with soap after reading that. Yeah, man, that's
man, yeah,
garbage.
That's you
garbage. Gabagool.
Gabagool. Hey, yo, give me the gabagool.
Man, I tell you, like, I'm having an out-of-body experience this show. I feel like my brain is like 10 feet above. I'm so tired.
Yeah. I feel you. Usually this is when I'm usually asleep now. I'm visiting my after morning nap. You wake up,
breakfast,
do what you got to do, and then go right back to sleep. That's it, man. That's the life for me.
Very good. Well, hey, we'll flick on over to our transition, and we'll round out the show with some really cool things that we're going to chat about, that we're going to discuss in the 10-second transition. Oh, that's the wrong one. This one. You can tell where my brain's at tonight.
No doubt.
I looked at the thing. It was like transition. Click. Wrong.
Click. Wrong. Whoopsie.
Oh my god. Wow. It's been a massive week for me. My god.
Has it?
I had one of the busiest and most stressful days yesterday, and I can't say anything as yet because I want to be able to round out the story.
Yeah.
But we'll teaser for next week. If everything pans out the way that I think it's going to pan out. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You're gonna kick the doors off this thing, huh?
I had a really good one. It was like a Sesame Street-esque slogan for the show. It was like something about this show is brought to you by the letter F because I don't give one. Or something. No. I don't know. Whatever. It's very non-family friendly, but you know what I'm saying.
You remember the non-family friendly Sesame Street where all the characters were we're dabbling in the left-handed arts.
Really?
Did you ever see that?
No.
I'll have to find the YouTube video and send it to you because it is absolutely hilarious.
The dogs dogs want to get out, man. They're like, what do you?
It's that pesky mailman. Tipper does not like the mailman. I don't need a home alarm system. Just get 2 dogs and make sure one of them is 20 pounds, and you will hear everything that goes on the street.
Oh man! Do you ever? You've never had a cat, have you? Have you ever had a cat?
I'm extremely allergic to cats.
Okay. Yep. Fair enough.
So I cannot have a cat. I mean, they're cool and all, but like, yeah, I'm like, I choose life.
Have you? Okay. So have you known what cats do when they see birds?
They make like there's enough stray cats around here, man, that I've like they make that weird chirping.
They got like
noise. Yeah, it's really weird.
That's as much action as we'll hear from Rosie. They're like, anytime she sees a magpie outside, like she wants to just, but she's just in the comfort of a lush townhouse, just kecking at a bird. Gosh.
Oh, Rosie, huh?
Unfortunately, I'm stuck with her.
Well,
Amber was telling me in the car earlier today. She's like, one of my lifelong goals is just put a cat on a leash and take a cat for a walk. And I said, you go ahead. You go ahead. I said, if Rosie runs away, you'd be doing me a favor.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I mean, I have a love to hate relationship with Rosie. Like she's,
Well, I mean, I have a love-hate relationship with my dogs. It's fine. Nothing brings me great joy than it's, I'm Mrs. KB's working early because she gets up at, 5 o'clock. And the dogs want out and they want fed and they scream bark. It's real fun on the weekends, man. It's real fun to be, don't even have an alarm. You just wake up to that rattling through your brain.
Man, animals! I tell you, speaking of cats on the leash, this is a downer story, but it does round out good. We bought a cat leash a couple of years ago, and we put it on one of our cats, and it was an awful scenario. And what happened was it was originally an outside cat. We brought him in because he wanted to come inside, and then fast forward like a couple years later, we have a leash on him. He's outside, and then he gets tangled around the picnic bench that we had in the backyard, and he just goes, he just runs off, and it like, it's like, oh my god! So then he was missing for 4 months.
No.
This is so. I literally.
Oh no!
I got on my bike with missing signs. I was riding around upstate New York. I got on my bike with missing signs, trying to look for the cat. I even called the police station. I'm like, here's cat's missing.
Oh God!
4 months later, he just shows up.
Well,
there you go. So cat leashes, I don't do them. I've had enough horror stories with cats.
I don't do them.
So as much as I would, if Rosie ever ran away, I'd probably be like, that sucks. It sucks. But I entertain the idea, like, just get out of here. Tired.
Just go live your best life. It's fine.
Tired of cleaning your damn litter box.
We've done all we can for you.
There's nothing more I can do for her. She's got her eyes look like hammerhead sharks, man. They're just going 2 different directions. She's looking at you, but you don't know you're looking at her, but you don't know if she's looking at you.
she's got the chameleon eyes going on. God, well, hey, I have some just in news for you.
Yeah, let's hear it. What's up?
So PlayStation is giving top tier members of its Stars loyalty program, the new thing they are rolling out, they're giving them top priority in customer support. So that's interesting. So if you pay for the higher tier and you sign up for PlayStation Stars, you can get top priority for when your disk drive fails.
And so you call them. It'll be like you're in an airplane. Yeah. Thank you for calling PlayStation support, Mr. Hang on, let me look at your file here.
Hey, what's his name?
Mr. Kitsune Bites. Thank you for calling PlayStation in regards to your failed disk drive on your Sony PlayStation 5 that has no games. How can we help you today? That's pretty much what it's going to be.
Yeah, or it's hold on. Let's check your account. Oh, we noticed you're not on the Stars loyalty program. Hold please. 5 hours later, you're like, oh wow, geez, Louise.
Gee whiz. I love that. I don't really see any benefit in that or any. I don't know.
It's funny to see them shift from we're gonna make the best console out there, and now it's we're gonna make a loyalty program because we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Nothing screams PS5 like customer support.
You know, when I think of Sony, I think of top tier customer support that I have to pay for. Might as well just slap an Apple on the thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what I mean? Just throw an Apple sticker on it, and then there you go.
It doesn't sound very consumer friendly, though. As Reed says in the chat, man, I imagine having to pay for 5-star customer support. Like, why would Sony not give 5-star customer support anyway? Why do I have to pay for that? You paid so much already for the PS5 if you can even find one. And
that's the same company that told you people don't want to play older games.
I know, ridiculous.
Oh. Sony brought to you by the letter F because F you for wanting older games and fun.
Oh my god! There you go. We'll leave it there. We'll love you there for episode 14. Those are watching live. Stay tuned for the post show. We've got so much stuff planned. It's gonna blow your mind. By the way, for those who are listening and stuff like that, I always do the Buzzsprout because our podcast is hosted on Buzzsprout. I like to do the details and stuff like that. So if you're 17 downloads on our last episode, which was only 5 days ago, the one before that had 31.
Wow,
which is really great. So it's averaging around about 20, 25 per episode. Please subscribe on YouTube, like and all that stuff. Leave comments. I haven't had a chance to reply to any comments in the last couple of days, so I'm really sorry if you've left a comment. I've seen it, but I haven't replied. Locations. Let's see where we're being listened to. US, Australia, UK, Germany, Singapore. Melbourne is still our top listen city.
Hey, I'm glad I'm big in Australia.
Coropolis, Pennsylvania. Sounds like a shithole. Fort Worth, Texas. Redmond. Clacton-on-Sea in Essex. Frankfurt.
Essex.
Coldstream, the Scottish borders. 2% of our listens come from that. I've never heard of that.
It's new news to me. I'm hearing a lot of new things today, boy.
This is new. This is very new. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, hey, man, we're getting up there. So remember, if you're on Spotify, please give us a 5-star. We're up to 15 5 stars on Spotify now, which is awesome.
Look at that. That is wonderful. I'm happy.
Very
I'm
excited
happy to hear that.
Okay. John has a story about Clacton-on-Sea in the chat.
Oh no.
John, what's the story? We can't leave without hearing the story. Then we'll round it up. There's so many places here that I've legit never heard of though. Like, yeah,
you're naming them, and I'm like, where the hell is that at?
Sydney.
Yeah, where's Sydney at? Who would ever live in Sydney?
I once met the cast of The Only Way Is Essex there.
Interesting.
The
Only Way Is Essex, eh?
I don't know. I've never heard of that. Oh, there's one listen in Geelong, Victoria. There you go. My pal with me nearly got chucked out of the club by asking.
Whoops.
What did he ask? This is a heck of a cliffhanger here.
I know.
By asking.
It's probably not family friendly.
Probably not, but I can't wait for it. By asking.
But do you have any more pigeon?
Do you have any more pigeon roll? So what do you actually contribute to society?
Whoops. Wow, that's amazing.
Well, there you go. There's episode 14 for you. So Thanks everybody for watching and listening. We're flicking on over to our post show right now, and I gotta stop my recording because I'm out of space.
Oh my god.